All right, let's talk about Fitment. Since your website is a auto parts website, Fitment's kind of important. You're not going to get Fitment from all manufacturers, right? Now, if it's coming from ASAP, of course, Fitment will be auto-loaded for you. But if you're having to deal with another manufacturer's brand, that's not always the case. So I'm going to go over a few things with you to show you how to create Fitment when none exists. And first I want to show you where your Fitment module is. So you're going to mouse over your store, go down to products, and we can go to all product variations. And so this is every product that you have. Everyone's view on this a little bit different. We can make all kinds of tabs. Ideally, we make them when this is something you're going to be using. If you're not, we don't. So if you want something on the back end, we can have all kinds of different filters and views so you can actually see a lot of really cool stuff on the back and not have to just go to the front. But so this is not going to have Fitment in it, but we're going to just use it as an example. So you would, to find where your Fitment is on your products, you just couldn't hit edit, or you could have done from the front. On any products you open up in the front of your website, and I'll show you that in just a second to make it a little bit easier. You can edit from there as well. So here's all your product information that got imported, right? Oh, and while we're here, if you went, man, I hate that other images, this image shouldn't be first, you can drag your images. So mouse over it, make sure it's in yellow, and pull it up, and you can rearrange what position your images show up in. So scroll down here a little bit to where we get to some of the specs and Fitment. But when you see Fitment on here, it's really quite simple what we've created for this, but it needs to be accurate. So you really want to pay attention that you don't do 20100, because your website will have those years all go down, right? So, or if you did 98 to 20190, that's from the year 98 to the year 20,090, and that kind of makes a mess of things and everyone panics. So if you're going to hand put this in, put it in proper, right? 1998 and 2017 or 2018 or whatever, but this is really important. There's no spaces before, there's no spaces after. Ideally you're doing this on an import, but sometimes you might just find a part and go, you know, I think I want to show Fitment on that, and so you can manually do that over here. Now when you get into these, the make, the model, the trim, these are auto fills. And so for example, if you just typed in, whoops, Jeep like this, it's going to say Jeep, right? Or if you went Dodge, it's going to say Dodge. Let it do that, and then click on it and put it in there. Again, it's really important. If you don't spell it the same way, if you have a space after it, if you have a little d in your year, make, model search, that's what's rendering there. So if you spelled Dodge wrong, or if you spelled it with a space at the end or a space at the beginning, they're going to be able to search by that, and so don't, right? And so again, Colorado, right? Let's go Ram. Right, it's looking for something that was already in there. If it doesn't come up and nothing comes up, then go ahead and certainly type it in, but type it in proper so it looks well. Now the trim is your submodel, so maybe maybe you're going to say it only fits a Rubicon, right, or only a certain trim package on a vehicle. You don't have to put that down at all. It certainly doesn't come up in your year, make, model search, but it will come up on the product, right? And I'll show you that in just a second. And so there you go. And if you wanted to add another one, you would just add and add and add until you're all done. And that's if you're doing it manually, and then go down to the bottom, because nothing happens until you hit save product, right? So we're going to save this product and let it do its thing here. And you've saved it. And so I'm going to drop down, and I am going to just go look for that. I guess I could have looked for the, I think it was this one that we just did. And now it has Fitment where it didn't before, right? So that Fitment shows up. So if you had put in, for example, that that trim model, that would have showed up in this as well. And of course, this isn't year, make, model specific, so it doesn't really matter, but that's how you do it on that. So let's say that you have 500 products from someone, and you're like, oh, I'm not going in and doing 500. We can do this on an import. So it's a blank sheet right here, and so bear with me and pretend this has the other stuff on it, right? We're going to need the SKU, and we're going to need something that says Fitment, right? And so pretend that this is the rest of it, or maybe you just want to do one that's Fitment. So this is 12120, and so Fitment on this is kind of easy. It is start year, comma, in year, comma, make, comma, model, comma. Now, again, if there was a submodel, a trim on that, you could put that. Everything has to end with a comma. Everything has to be spelled correct. There cannot be any spaces. And if you had two things that fit, then you're going to put a pipe there, and you're going to do the same thing. So 2012, comma, 2015, comma, Chevrolet, Camaro, comma. If you don't have the comma, it's not going to load. All right. So sometimes the manufacturers might give you something that has kind of these ranges. So it may be manipulating this data sheet a little bit. Sometimes the manufacturers are going to give you a data sheet. You kind of have to parse out yourself by reading the titles, and that's horrible. But I've seen them where they have start year, end year. You just have to make sure, that they have given it to you as, start year, end year, make and model usually is the same. You just have to make sure that everything is properly capitalized, and that's when your concatenation comes in, right, where you could take it and concatenate 3 or 4 fields together. But you could do this yourself, especially if let's say you want to load a brand and you are very niche, and so you don't want anything that's not for the Toyota or Camaro or Mustang or Jeep, and that brand's Fitment came over with all of it, so that part might actually fit a Mustang and a Subaru or a Jeep and a Dodge. This is where you actually could go in to the Fitment and remove the ones you don't want to before you import them, right? So so again, Fitment's really important. Oh, what I was going to show you is if you were on the front of your website. Now I'm logged in, that's why you're seeing all this, but you could hit products on something and hit edit and go back in from the front, right? You don't have to be in the back to do that. So just go right here to Fitment and take care of it, right? So that is all about Fitment on your website. Kind kind of an easy video, but kind of a big deal, and a lot of manufacturers struggle with getting that over to you. So if you've got the time, your website has the tools that you can incorporate that into. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. Again, to get to your store, products, and these are all tabs that are available there. I, by default, just always go to all product variations, and then if I want to, right? Now this particular one has a fitment view, and we can set that up with yours as well. And so what I did here is, you know, again, there's nothing, we just created this, so that's there, but these are not specific to your make and model, but we can sort by brand or category. So on this one, for example, that's a lot of fitment, right? That's a lot of things it fits. But you can go in and you can eyeball it, make sure everything is good. If you're doing manual updates, if you're not getting data from ASAP, then you might want to really have this to be able to make sure that you updated from the 17 to the 18 models, or from the 18 to the 19 models, and so on and so forth. Anyway, all right, I hope this video helped.